Joining us now is Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Financial Group. Kevin, good to be with you today. It's a really important week, I think, for Canada. When you hear the numbers in terms of how much trade we do with China right now, $85 billion versus over $700 billion with the United States, a lot of people, Ken Curtis, who was on with me last Friday, former vice chairman of Goldman Sachs Asia, said we are nowhere with China and we're leaving a lot on the table. What do you think?
Well, first of all, this is a critical trip. I totally agree with you. Your statement is right. We are nowhere. Every country on earth wants to be, in one way or another, in a trade agreement with the world's fastest growing economy. It's only be a matter of a couple of decades it'll surpass North American economy. So we need to find our place in that process, and now's a good time to start. So there's several issues here. Number one, Trudeau's overall theme, as he spends 8 days there, should be to tell the Chinese government that there's a new Canada. He's the new leader, and he wants to open it up for business. So to forget the past and start thinking about the future. And he's actually got to do that. We have to make Canada the most attractive place on earth for the incremental energy investment that the Chinese want to make. Not in Mexico, not in India, nowhere else, Canada. And so we really have to start thinking about the mistakes we've made over the last 7 years in terms of policy. Have to solve the pipeline issue and tell the Chinese while he's there it's going to get done. Once he makes that commitment and he gets them on board for reinvesting, he's going to have to deliver. But also, all of the rules and regulations around carbon taxation, etc., make us a very unattractive place, and we've seen the demise of jobs in Alberta. This is a chance to get some of it back. It's a crucial time for Trudeau to step up and set a path and be a leader.
Do you think he will be a good negotiator?
I think he could be. I think he's got a pretty good team over there. But if he fails on this and we don't get anything but a bunch of alphabet soup and a lot of just promotional wordplay, it's going to be a big mistake for him and his mandate, because we really are suffering from jobs. In Alberta, we've already seen the decimation of jobs, and we can argue why that is. Some people blame policy, some people blame the commodity price. Probably both are at fault for this. We've also seen this remarkable slowdown in manufacturing in Ontario. 36,100 jobs lost in July alone. We're hurting in Canada. We need some partnerships. We need new money. We need people to get excited about this. And this is when you define your leadership as a PM. You get out there, you see the problem, and you go out and you bring new capital back to the country and make it the most attractive place for that capital to come. There's lots of competition. We're not the only people showing up on China's doorstep. This is his chance to shine. And everybody's waiting to see what he comes home with. We'll know in 10 days, in 2 weeks. Now, if it's a bunch of gobbledygook and a bunch of photo ops and there's no hardcore...
But do you really think deals get done that quickly with China? Well, I understand that, but keep in mind as well, it of course takes a long time and a lot of negotiation to get deals done with anybody, let alone with China, particularly given the fact that some people would say it's been very inconsistent for the past 10 years.
The point is, you come back with a shopping list of things you're going to get done. You come back and tell the Canadian people, here's what we agreed on, here's what we did not agree on, and here's what we're still negotiating. You don't come back with an empty laundry list saying, I love the place, it was a great place to go and eat, and I had a great time sightseeing. You got to come back with something.
Yeah.
You have to come back. I mean, clearly that's what the expectations are. He's got a full team there. He's seeing every major central area there where investment is needed and where they need energy and some of Canadian technology. And he's got a strong contingency of people who know how to do deals. So if he comes back with nothing, I'd have to say that would be a failure. And I think Canadian people would feel the same way.
Well, speaking of Canadian people, Kevin, it's interesting as well because we did do a BNN poll, and not everybody is so set on expanding relationships with China because of their human rights records. When I addressed that with Ken Curtis last Friday, one thing that he pointed out to me, and he's been there for decades, is that things have actually really improved 30 years ago versus today. So what's the message to Canadians in terms of understanding that it's nowhere near perfect, but it's improved?
The Chinese people themselves and their government have sent a clear message to every trading partner, of which Canada is a very small one. So I'm not sure they care what we think that much, to be honest with you. But they've told the rest of their major agreements that they are working on this issue along with intellectual property protection. So those are the two big covenants. For example, their relationship with Disney, which is probably worth more than anything they've done with Canada, in trying to bring over IP from them and have Disney build these massive long-term infrastructure parks, is that they're going to start protecting Disney's IP.
Right.
And Iger, the CEO, trusts them to do it. And they've had a huge success. Now other companies like Disney are going over that have technology and forming new relationships with the Chinese. We're falling behind. It's not a good idea for us as Canadians to keep telling them they're human rights abusers. That's not a smart move. Let's get some deals done